Hey guys, this is Mariama, the Queen of Swords. I meant to make an announcement during my video that I recorded today on the 8th for the 9th, for Tuesday the 9th. But I forgot. I have a plug for those of you who are living in New York and are 25 or younger, who are looking for an opportunity to go to college and or for a job. You're looking for a job. You've been unsuccessful. If you have a high school degree or a GED, contact me at Queenofswords, the light worker, at gmail.com. I have a plug through a friend who's trying to close the opportunity divide, the opportunity gap, and get some of you young people working. Queen of Swords, the light worker, at gmail.com. If you live in New York, have a GED or a high school degree, and are looking for work or an opportunity to go to college, I have a plug through a friend who is providing paid Wall Street internships with opportunities, again, to go to school. Talk to you guys later. Enjoy the daily reading. Bye-bye. Namaste, angels. I'm here to do the daily reading for Tuesday, May 9th. And the day on which I'm doing it is May 8th. It was also 1:44 at 55 degrees and 66% battery life on my phone. But more importantly, yes, May 8th. And that is one of the feast days of Mary, Queen of Angels. It is Our Lady of Lujan. I'm going to go over that a little bit because I failed to mention it when I did my readings on Sunday. I, had a number to do, and I just didn't think about it. And I had that story on my mind about the masculine, so I went into that instead. It's all well and good. These things happen as they're meant to. I'm not worried about it. So let's just go into that. Our Lady of Lujan is a celebrated 16th century icon of the Virgin Mary, Mother of Jesus Christ. The image, also known as the Virgin of Lujan. In the Basilica of Lujan in Argentina is where it is displayed. The feast day of Our Lady of Lujan is May 8th. The history. The Lujan image was made in Brazil and sent to Argentina. Tradition holds that a settler ordered the terracotta image of the Immaculate Conception in the year 1630. And I want you to make note of those numbers. 163, because those are the numbers that basically surround Mary, myself also, and that's not a mistake. Many of you know why already. But it's 613 transposed. And also, very important number is 136. And with relation to Mary, particularly Luke 136. That's where the angel says to her, the Holy Spirit will come upon you, and the power of the Most High will overshadow you. The Holy One will be born to you and called the Son of God. Even your cousin Elizabeth has conceived a son in her old age, and she was called barren, is now in the 6th month. For nothing is impossible with God. Same numbers, 136. I just noticed that and had to stop and tell you that. But yes, a terracotta image, a statue, was ordered of the Virgin in the year 1630 because he intended to create a shrine in her honor to help reinvigorate the Catholic faith in Santiago de Estero, his region. After embarking from the port, there's Raphael too. After embarking from the port of Buenos Aires, the caravan carrying the image stopped at the residence of Don Rosendo, located in the present town of Zelaya. When the caravan wanted to resume the journey, the oxen, I just have to draw these little correlations to you. And again, you guys out there who are familiar with me and my speak know that I say like OX or ox instead of XO for my hugs and kisses and a bunch of stuff like that related to oxen. The oxen refused to move. Once the crate containing the image was removed, the animal started to move again. Given the evidence of a miracle, people believe the Virgin wished to remain there. The image was venerated in a primitive chapel for 40 years. Then the image was acquired by Anna de Matos and carried to Lujan, where it currently resides. Pope John Paul II visited the shrine during an apostolic journey. And now, over the years, different traditions have been made, in this regard, created by different popes. But one that stands out to me is the one of the golden rose. I'll tell you that quickly too. The golden rose is a gift, and this is from Wikipedia. Luke 136 was from my head, but this is from Wikipedia. The golden rose is a gift from the Pope to nations, cities, basilicas, sanctuaries, or images. It is blessed by him on the fourth Sunday of Lent, anointed with the holy chrism, and dusted with incense. The rose consists of a golden rose stem with flowers, buds, and leaves placed in a silver vase lined on the inside with bronze case and bearing the papal shield. Pope Leo IX is considered as the originator of this tradition in the year 1049. So that's a 113, also a very important number in the scriptures and other places throughout this history. In the Americas, the rose has been given to Our Lady of Guadalupe in Mexico, to Our Lady of Aparecida in Brazil, to St. Joseph's Oratory in Canada, to the Basilica of the National Shrine of the Immaculate Conception in the United States, to the Cathedral Basilica of Nuestra Señora de Valle in Argentina, and to the Basilica Santuario Nacional de Nuestra Señora de Ciudad del Combre in Cuba. On June 11th, in the year 1982, Pope John Paul II personally bestowed a golden rose on Our Lady of Luján. So that's connected with her. And so is the color gold, or the element gold. And with me too. Okay, with that, nope. I was going to tell you something that I came across while I was doing the cards, but let me do on this day first before I get all sorts of confused and ahead of myself. In the year 1386, the Treaty of Windsor between Portugal and England, the oldest diplomatic alliance in the world, which is still in force, was created. 1941, British intelligence at Bletchley Park breaks German spy codes after capturing Enigma machines aboard the weather ship München, Munchen. 1945, World War II. The Soviet Union marks Victory Day. 1960, U.S. becomes the first country to legalize the birth control pill. 1962, I have to stop again. Isn't it crazy? 1960, the first country, we can claim this as a world victory and something positive. And here in the year 2017, trying to do away with it. It's unbelievable to me. 1962, the Beatles signed their first contract with EMI Parlophone. Did you know U.S. President Woodrow Wilson proclaims Mother's Day on May 9th in the year 1914? Famous birthdays: John Brown, Howard Carter, Mike Wallace, Glenda Jackson, Billy Joel, and Steve Yersman. Famous weddings: 1942, physicist Robert Hofstadter, 27, weds Nancy Givan. 1987, actor Tom Cruise, 27, and actress Mimi Rogers, 33, marry. 2000, Puerto Rican actress and former Miss Universe Dayanara Torres, 25, weds singer-songwriter Mark Anthony, 31, in Las Vegas, Nevada. 2004, Underworld director Lynn Wiseman, 31, weds actress Kate Beckinsale, 30, at the Hotel Bel Air in Los Angeles, California. 2005, Oscar-winning actress Renee Zellweger, 36, weds country music heartthrob singer Kenny Chesney, 37, on the island of St. John in the U.S. Virgin Islands. I love the U.S. Virgin Islands, but my favorite is St. Thomas. Thomas means twin. Famous divorces: 2008, The View, former co-host Star Jones, 46, divorces investment banker Al Reynolds, 39, after 3.5 years of marriage. Famous deaths: Charles Viner Brooke, Aldo Moro, Cyrus S. Eaton, Tenzing Norgay, Vidal Sassoon. Now, he was murdered, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong. Oh, no, yeah, I'm thinking about Versace. Never mind. Vidal Sassoon was British and a hairdresser. He opened the first chain of worldwide hairstyling salons and created an international hair products line with the popular tagline, "If you don't look good, we don't look good." He was born on January 17th in 1928 and was a Capricorn from London, England. He died on May 9th in the year 2012 at the age of 84 of leukemia. I just have to mention they didn't list Ghostface Killer here under the birthdays, but it is his birthday also, and also you guys' fellow viewer out there, Taylor, it is her birthday. Happy birthday, Taylor. All right. Tenzing Norgay was Nepalese, a mountaineer and an explorer. Nepalese Sherpa mountaineer Tenzing Norgay with Edmund Hillary were the first climbers to reach the summit of Mount Everest and to return safely. His exact birth date is unknown, but it's thought that he was born in May of the year 1914. After his ascent of Everest on May 29, 1953, he decided to celebrate his birthday on that day thereafter. He was born on May 29th in the year 1914 and was a Gemini from Kumba, Nepal. He died on May 9th in 1986 at the age of 71 of cerebral hemorrhage. Cyrus S. Eaton was a Canadian-born American and a steel magnate, one of the most powerful financiers of the American Midwest. He funded and helped to organize the first pugwash conferences on world peace in the year 1955, which is 56 or 11, by the way. He was born on December 27th in the year 1883, which is 9/11 or 11, and was a Capricorn from Cumberland County, Nova Scotia, Canada. He died on May 9th in 1979 at the age of 95. Aldo Moro was Italian and a prime minister. He was one of Italy's longest-serving post-war prime ministers, holding power for a combined total of more than 6 years. He was born on September 23rd in 1916 and was a Libra from Magli, Apulia, Italy. He died on May 9th in 1978 at the age of 61 of assassination. And lastly of the deaths, Charles Viner Brooke was English, the third and last white Raja of Sarawak. The third and last white Raja of Sarawak. His reign saw a boom in the Sarawak rubber and oil industries. He was born on September 26th in the year 1874, which is 9/11 or 11, and was a Libra from London, England. He died on May 9th in 1963 at the age of 88. And you guys may want to look up what is a white Raja, R-A-J-A-H, of Sarawak, S-A-R-A-W-A-K. He was the third and last one, again. Going up to the birthdays. Steve Yzerman is 52 years old. He too is Canadian and an NHL legend. He played his entire NHL career with the Detroit Red Wings. He served as captain for over 1,300 games, making him the longest-serving captain of any team in North American Major League sports history. He led the Red Wings to 3 Stanley Cup championships. He was also executive director of Team Canada for the 2010 and 2014 Winter Olympics, winning 2 consecutive gold medals. He was born on May 9th in 1965 and is 52 years old, a Taurus from Cranbrook, British Columbia, Canada. Billy Joel. He's American. William Martin Joel is his full name. He's a pianist, songwriter, and composer. Since releasing his first hit song, Piano Man, in 1973, he has become the 6th best-selling recording artist and the 3rd best-selling solo artist in the United States. He is also a 6-time Grammy Award winner who has been nominated for 23 Grammy Awards throughout his career and has sold more than 150 million records worldwide. He was born on May 9th in 1949 and is 68 years old, a Taurus from the Bronx, New York, USA. Glenda Jackson is 81 years old. She's English and an actress. She's famous for Woman in Love in 1963, A Touch of Class in 1973, and Hedda in 1975. She was born on May 9th in 1936 and is 81 years old, a Taurus from Cheshire, England, United Kingdom. Mike Wallace was American, a newscaster, one of the original correspondents for CBS's television news magazine 60 Minutes. He was born on May 9th in 1918 and was a Taurus from Brookline, Massachusetts, USA. He died on April 7th in 2012 at the age of 93 of natural causes. Howard Carter was British, an archaeologist and the discoverer of Tutankhamun, who is King Tut. He's famous because he was one of the discoverers, again, of the intact tomb of 18th dynasty Egyptian pharaoh King Tut. He was born on May 9th in 1873 and was a Taurus from London, England. He died on March 2nd in the year 1939 at the age of 65 of lymphoma, which is cancer. And lastly, John Brown was American and an abolitionist. He believed armed insurrection was the only way to overthrow the institution of slavery in the United States. So basically, John Brown was like a white Nat Turner. Yeah, and he took up arms against slavery and slave owners. He was born on May 9th in the year 1800, so 599, which is 5, and was a Taurus from Torrington, Connecticut, USA. He died on December 2nd in 1859 at the age of, which is also 5, by the way, at the age of 59, which is also 5, cause of death, execution by hanging. And he was the last. Going to the dice, I'm beginning with yes. Spend money. And romantic dinner. Spirit says email. Continue to spend money. And still go out for that romantic dinner. And it sounds like somebody just started some sort of construction or something in the apartment above me. I hope you guys can't hear that. Rather, I apologize if you can. I'm beginning with the Page of Fire, who's outgoing, creative, confident, and mischievous. News of an exciting new endeavor. Use your originality and ingenuity. Opening 2. The Eight of Water, a desire to move on. The search for something more meaningful, spiritual, and emotional growth. Page of Fire is a Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries. Eight of Water. And the Five of Water, things not turning out the way you'd hoped, not seeing the positive of a situation, and crying over spilled milk. Like the positive, for example, is that these two together equal an 1111. Five of Water is the oh woe is me card, in my opinion, and it's taken over. Opening out to the Moon with Archangel Haniel, important psychic insights, events behind the scenes, release fears that hold you back, perhaps showing up because the day following the 9th, the 10th, is the day of the Scorpio full moon. Moon represents the sign of Pisces, or can also be for Scorpio, any water sign, Cancer as well. It's all about what's hidden, what's in the dark. Remembering to use our intuition, to be cognizant of it, mindful of it, pay attention to the messages, accept that some things are uncovered and that we're not meant to know everything. Opening to the Nine of Air, expecting the worst, self-fulfilling prophecies, sleepless nights. Moon is back. I'll go one more. It's the Three of Earth, the power of creativity, recognition for very high quality work. Be a team player. And I've come to the Four of Earth, being too frivolous or too cautious with money, good business decisions, and giving to those less fortunate. Because this is a general reading, it can also be about love. We could also be withholding that, not being generous enough with yourself, or being too generous with yourself, depending upon, the relationship and situation, circumstance. The overall energy is the Six of Air. Things are looking up. It's the end of a difficult situation. You may even be taking a trip. And I think going into the Scorpio full moon, the moon will be in Libra. Perhaps a reason for air to be showing up. The masculine is the Nine of Fire. Don't give up. Protect that which you've created. Have courage and believe in yourself. Surrounded by the King of Air, who's brilliant, impartial, professional, and diplomatic, and may be a Libra, as I was just talking about. Gemini or Aquarius. Speak your mind with confidence. Seek out professional advice. Balance mental and emotional considerations. And in the masculine subconscious, it's the Five of Earth. Fears surrounding money, the wisdom to accept help from others, uncertain self-employment. This can also be, at least in my mind, like fear of abandonment. The feminine is the Ace of Earth, the inflow of abundance, a promising business venture, important documents or contracts. Surrounded by the Two of Air, being unable or unwilling to make a decision, a stalemate, pretending there's no problem. Feminine has had a decision to make seemingly between two love interests, or somebody who's blocking her way to her love interest. So like a parent, a child, or something like an ex, and the love interest, two people. In the feminine subconscious, it's the Page of Air. Maybe she's considering dropping some truth bombs, or maybe she's, thinking on some that she's received. This can also be about dilly-dallying, because the Page of Air can be about delay. Logical, honest, impulsive, and curious is the Page of Air. Challenging information, delays, or changes to plans, and truth delivered without tact. Like the King, the Page is a Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra. Crowning, it's the Star, also an Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra. Happy times, make positive, optimistic, long-term plans. You're on the right path. The Star is the Yes card of the major arcana. It's your wishes granted, prayers answered card. And sitting here next to the Ace of Earth, I think, at least for some of the feminine, it's all about your abundance coming through. Again, be that money, financial, monetary, material, or love, or other kind of abundance. Crossing the King of Air, I think for the masculine, it can be fairness, justice finally coming your way, truth, or you speaking your truth. Again, sticking your ground, standing your ground, holding firm, standing in your truth, allowing it to defend you, you defending it, all of that. And maybe you're inspired by the potential of, being left alone. Like the feminine, if you don't do this, if you don't, take this stand, the feminine might leave you alone. You might be fearful of that and use that as your motivation. At the root, it's the Knight of Fire, who's passionate, adventurous, self-assured, and restless. Also a Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries, like the page with which I began. A sudden event that needs immediate attention. Time is of the essence. Think things through carefully. At the heart of the matter, it's the Two of Water. What did I say? This was about defending the union, defending the relationship. Also about a decision with regard to the relationship. Next card is upside down. I was going to see if we could get anything out of maybe the Nine of Fire, although I otherwise know what that is, and I hope that you do too, now that I've shared it. And the Five of Earth. So yeah, you know what? We'll do it this way. Again, I said that the Five of Earth could be the masculine's motivation to standing his ground, standing in his truth, defending himself and the union. And here we have it, sure enough, crossing the Two of Water, saying just that. This is all about a relationship that continues to grow closer. Forgiveness and the positive resolution of a conflict. It's also our prayers have been answered. Our wishes have been granted. This love is finally coming together for many of us who have been wishing upon a star that this would happen. Sitting here crossing or next to the Two of Air, again, there's a decision with regard to the relationship and whether or not the feminine steps forward. However, the Two of Water crosses the Ace of Earth, so that signifies a brand new beginning in this regard. A divine new beginning, a new start. Crossing the Page of Air indicates to me, it demonstrates to me that she may have been worried about, when is it going to happen? It might be delayed yet again. Maybe because her decision's been delayed. Like there's cause and effect here. We set things in motion. She needs to get up off the decision and feel confident that everything is going to work out. Faith is like the first step. I always tell you guys, God, family, football. That's what we have to do. Put the universe first. Show it that we believe in it. That we accept the whole promise, not pieces of the promise, not where it's convenient. Today I believe in this whole thing. Tomorrow, I only believe in the part where I get the girl or I get the guy. That's we got to go all in or like not at all, basically. It's all or nothing in this gamble. All right, I'm going to go on to the Mary, Queen of Angels cards, beginning with love. Love is the answer to my questions, and maybe she will help us to get further clarification out of some of these. Opening to honesty. I'm in touch with my true feelings regarding this situation. And honesty. Opening to truth. I am lovingly honest with myself and others. Truth. And tenderness. I'm both gentle and powerful. Truth, not the bottom. And opening to compassion. I see and feel others' points of view with forgiveness and kindness. Truth back. I'll go one more. It's prayer. Instead of worrying, I pray about this situation to bring about real solutions. We also praying here, the feminine praying for an answer to this question. But again, I think that prayer has been answered. And here it is. And here it is. Prayer. I'm going to cut. Action. That's what it's time for us to take. Today I take action related to the priorities that I have previously put off. And the overall energy here is integrity. I trust my ability to know what is true for me. Here atop the 9 of fire is inner child. I nurture the child within me through playfulness and self-care. The masculine may need to stand up first to himself, like let his whole self out in defense of him. That's one possibility. He also may have to defend himself to his family. He could be represented as a child here, defend himself to his parents with regard to some choices that he's made. And this also may be just about pulling strength from the inner child. Inner child, which showed up all weekend in those readings, drawing from that reconnection that he's made with the inner child recently during separation for many, is what I'm feeling. Here atop the King of Air, miracle. I trust in God to know the perfect solution to this situation. So whereas maybe a decision was needed here, a solution was needed here, a fair diplomatic justice necessary for the masculine in his situation, somewhat connected or somehow connected to this partnership, this divine partnership, he's getting not only his justice, but in the form of a miracle. I trust in God to know the perfect solution to this situation. Here atop the 5 of earth is family. I pray for my family and give this situation over to God for answers, support, and healing. So whereas, again, he may have been worried about ending up alone after the justice, or should he fail to get the justice, that's not going to happen, okay? He has the full support of not only his family here, and that doesn't have to be blood. It's people that love him here, as well as his family in heaven. Also, this has to do with an actual child birth for some of the masculine. That's the miracle. Similar to the miracle I started talking about at random, so semi-random in the beginning from Luke 1:36, where Saint Elizabeth, at her old age, and she was believed to have been somewhere around like 80, to have gotten pregnant, and to have been at that time when the angel came to visit Mary, 6 months pregnant. Miracle for some of the divine masculine. Now, this could be divine masculine that are females who maybe had trouble getting pregnant before, or thought because they were lesbian perhaps, and because they were they identified as the masculine or male in their lesbian relationship, that they could never have a baby, and perhaps they are having a baby, some of them. This can also be for some of the masculine who were in question. And this came up actually in the masculine, in the general reading. In the general reading, I was reading the hashtag creepy deck, and it came up that some of the masculine were going to be finding out whether or not a child was theirs this week. This can be having to do with that as well for some. Okay, I don't want to get too stuck there. Here atop the 2 of air, and this decision that the feminine has to make is present moment. I am fully present in the here and now, so choose whichever one leads you to that. Atop the page of air, children. My heart is filled with love for children, which creates miracles and positive change for them and me. So for some of you, and I only feel this for a few, there's a decision here about a pregnancy as well, or maybe another attempt to get pregnant. Maybe there was a loss, a miscarriage, and you're trying to decide, can I do this again? Can I go through this again? I'd like to have a child as part of this partnership. Prayers have been answered in that area too. Miracles happen. Again, they even happen to Saint Elizabeth in her old age. For others of us, we've been sitting on this decision because, like I said, also nearing the beginning of this spread at least, the decision between the two people, it can be anybody. So it can be like the child or the parent. It can be your parents. It can be your, friends. Anybody who's been a block to the relationship, who's maybe been a block in the form of saying you can't separate from your family. You can't separate from this person with whom you have children. This can be the children themselves. You weren't trying to figure out how you're going to, move on, how you're going to move on to a new beginning, toward a new beginning at all. When you got these children, you can't quite see, the way. This can also be, I was getting something else. I lost. Okay, hopefully that'll come back, because I had something else coming in. Don't want to do the advice yet. Let's go to the butterfly cards also. And I'm going to begin with join in. And join in is about joining in. It's about willfully being part of society and maybe surrounding yourself with new people. I talked about that over the weekend too. With people who align with your vibration, similar to like the unity card. People with whom relate. It's about fear. And so this can be another meaning for this family card. It's about fear and previously being surrounded with people who were insensitive, okay? And like didn't get it and didn't get you. And that caused you to become fearful and to sort of retreat like a hermit. I'm afraid to be around people. I'm afraid to mix with people, to be out socially. I hide behind a computer maybe, like Aquarius. I communicate electronically only. And this guides you to get out instead and, be social and join into the social scene. Maybe introduce yourself at a group. Some of us also have addictions to work on. This can be a perfect time to go after this or to come out of your shell. You join, an AA meeting or something and you participate. You not only join, but you participate. Hi, my name is whatever. A book club or something of which you can be a part of. So some sort of hobby. Hobbies came up too. Creative outlets that you're into. Surround yourself with people who align with you and environments and things that align with you. Opening 2, dietary change. Yep, same thing. It's getting rid of what doesn't work and what's toxic for you, for your health. Spiritual health, emotional health, mental health, just as important as physical health. Dietary changes back. And opening 2, body changes. Yes, because we are ever growing, ascending. A lot coming through with the Scorpio full moon, as we saw during the readings again over the weekend. DNA changes in those upgrades. And so dietary change. For others, this is, more literal. It's the need to change your diet and get in shape. Maybe so that you can have children. Not now, but as part of this partnership, and whenever the time is right for you, whenever the angel decides to visit you with one of these miracles, and an inner child, you'll be ready. You'll be in the right health. Opening 2, new exercise program goes perfect with all of that I was just saying. The physical part, the physical aspects, and also the spiritual, emotional, mental. Body changes back. And opening 2, gracefully aging. This is about the spiritual growth, the emotional growth, the maturity overall that we've all developed and that we continue to develop with these ascensions. Body changes back. I'll go one more. Take the next step now. This is join in yet again, and another saying it another way. Body changes. In the cut. This spread is so awful. I love the 2 of water under the star and crossing the Ace of Earth. And here are the hobbies I was talking about, the creative outlets. So yeah, get out, they used to have sewing clubs and knitting clubs. I don't even know if people are still into stuff like that. But if you are, yeah, anything where you may have to actually speak to somebody else in person is the kind of thing that join in means. And join in can be, more local to you. It can just be here. Instead of calling, maybe, or texting your beloved, maybe go see them, unexpectedly, maybe. Surprise. It's a miracle. Where did you come from? Who dragged you up? That type of thing. And get out and do some of those things as the weekend reading showed, that return you to your creative outlets, and they can also lead to abundance for you and new business ventures. I was supposed to be cutting, and instead I opened to shuffle again, and I came to sobriety. So I think I'm meant to show you guys this, since I was just talking about potential addictions as well. Okay, hobby's back. I'm gonna cut. Be true to you, says Spirit. So again, defending our beliefs, our choices, our decisions, being present in the moment, standing our ground, despite what our children might think. This can be the adult children that showed up in the weekly. I think that's what was coming in before too. That this can be the adult children that were coming through in the weekly reading, which the adult children that came through then were in some cases us, like I just said, to the masculine, and in other cases there were actual adult children who may be getting in the way. Maybe your adult children don't like the masculine. Maybe the masculine doesn't like the adult children. Maybe he doesn't know how he's going to, step in and join in here with a family that includes adult children. Well, what do I do with them? They're already raised. On the other hand, that's a great possibility, or there are great possibilities there. They're already raised. They're already going about their own business. It's just me and her. You can look at it that way. Different scenarios surrounding the children. Whatever your situation or scenario is, be true to you. And the overall energy is join in. Oh, that's too funny. So yeah, I'm really still feeling that that's why the masculine is being shown that he has family. Again, the family is not necessarily love. The family can be your beloved, and maybe that's why it crosses here with the Two of Water, and anybody else to whom you relate, with whom you align on this new level, as you gracefully age and your tastes and moods and everything changes, with whom you resonate now. That's your family. It can be about soul family too, in that regard. And just being open to joining in with them. Okay, here atop the inner child. Yep. And the Nine of Fire is relationship dynamic. So again, yes, what you're defending is the relationship and the change. And again, for others, there can be a pregnancy, there can be a child joining the family. You can be planning for something like that in the future, and just going over the dynamics of the relationship. Welcoming changes in that area. Leaving some people behind, joining in with some new people. A top miracle and the King of Air is get some rest. So the King of Air can also come through when you need to heal in some way. It's like a doctor type of card. And again, this can have to do with the miracle. Some of the divine masculine may be female, and they may be pregnant. They may need some rest. In other cases, this is like metaphor. It has to do with the justice. It's like I rest my case. I rest my case is what's coming through for others of you. Here, atop family and the Five of Earth is new exercise program yet again. So about changing our lifestyle to fit our new life, and who, what, and where is in it. Atop present moment and the Two of Air. Welcome the new. So you're you're making the decision to leave the old where it is behind, and you're going to instead get into the present moment and stay there, welcoming the new that comes to you, like this beautiful Ace of Earth. And atop children and the Page of Air is changing your mind. Perhaps for some, changing your mind about remaining with your children's father, your children's mother. Changing your mind about living for anyone else other than yourself that you had, resolved to doing before. You were trying to be as happy as you could living that way, and you've changed your mind. You've decided instead to be true to you. You can't do that anymore. Nice. The advice is to the masculine, the Tower with Archangel Chamuel, a significant life event, a powerful revelation that leads to change. It's time to spread your wings. And I think for many, it has to do with whatever caused you to stand up and demand to be noticed and to get your justice. And, you weren't going to back down. You were going to defend yourself. Whatever that is, good, bad, indifferent really, because it's a neutral card. This Tower coming through, it's going to change some things in your life for the better. At the end of the day, again, prayers answered, and your partnership coming together in love and emotion. Feminine from the angels, the Chariot, moving on, moving up, again with the Ascension. This card can also be about travel. I'm not really feeling that, but it can also be about travel. It can be about transportation, modes of transportation, planes, trains, automobiles, maybe somebody getting one, a car that is. I mean, you can get a plane, a train too, I guess, but more likely a car. That's a possibility. This also represents the sign of Cancer and other water signs. Scorpio, perhaps, like the moon. Pisces. The butterflies to the masculine, parental care. This is about you. You're the parent. You're the child and the parent. I want to be your mother. I want to be your father. I want to be your son. I want to be your daughter. You're the child and the parent. And you've got to care about you now. You've got to put yourself first here. So where your children were concerned and maybe holding you back, and you've decided you're taking your justice, you're demanding justice, you've prayed on it, your prayers have been answered, giving you a way, making a way for you to come into this two of water, come toward this two of water at the heart of the matter. You're caring for you now. It does have something to do with having to care for your parents, and maybe that's the Tower. Maybe something unexpected comes up with a parent, and you have to step in. Maybe you've been stepping in and taking care of a parent, and something happens to cause you to no longer have to do that and to free up your time. Feminine, hobbies, getting back to our creative outlets that can give way to abundance for us. Some of us are going to parlay some of our hobbies into jobs for ourselves and be able to quit the 9-to-5 and instead, work for ourselves in some capacity, maybe even have people work for us, or even if you work for another company, be in a position where you have creative freedom, that type of thing. Masculine from the Mary, Queen of Angels Oracle, signs I watch for, notice, and trust the signs that heaven continually sends. So you will be receiving messages of how to progress forward. And feminine, it's time to take action. Get off your butt and make this decision. Today I take action related to the priorities that I have previously put off. Again, the decision, the two of air, sitting here atop the page of air, indicates you've put it off, that this is what Spirit is talking about, and it's time to get on it. I hope that you guys enjoyed the daily reading, and look forward to some of this for myself, too. Namaste, angels.